right, what's going on? This is Clarence Jr. Breaking down the Bulldogs. You're going to bear with me today. This is the first ever stream on this channel. I'm on this stream yard. I'm trying to, figure out how to do different things, how to share the screen and all that other kind of stuff. And so bear with me. This is our first time, doing this. Hopefully it goes well. All right, hold on. See? Hold on. I don't know if this is going to work. But all right, let's get back into it. So, what are we working on today? What do we got going on tonight? Tonight, we are looking at. Oh, here we go. Tonight, we are looking at. We're going through the entire CIAA. We want to go through the records. We're going to predict the outcome of the entire conference, one team at a time, in alphabetical order, which means we're starting off with Bluefield State. So, before we get into the prediction for Bluefield State this year, let's go back and look at what their record was and what their schedule was last year. And so, last year, they went 1-9. They lost to Winston-Salem. They lost to Concord. No, they beat Concord. That was their only win. They lost to Emory and Henry. They lost to Johnson C. Smith. Basically, they went winless in the CIAA. However, there was one close loss, Elizabeth City State. And we'll be talking about Elizabeth City State pretty soon. But as you can see, mostly all losses last year. Tough year. All right. So that's what Bluefield did last season. Let's look at their schedule for this season. So for this season, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. We're going to look at their schedule for this year coming up. And for this year, hold on. So yeah, y'all got to bear with me. This is my first time using this. So, here we go. (2026) Bluefield State. What is their schedule? They start off with Tusculum University. Now, Tusculum had a very rough season last year. They went 1-9, just as Bluefield did. The difference is that when you look at Tusculum's schedule, they had a lot of tough games on their schedule. They had some Newberry, Lenore Rhine, Mars Hill, UVA Wise, Carson Newman, Catawba. So Tusculum had a very difficult schedule last year. So their 1-9 is not exactly the same as Bluefield State's 1-9. But nevertheless, they went 1-9. But once again, looking at the schedule, I could see Bluefield State. I'm going to go ahead and go to this year. They probably didn't even post it yet. This thing is crazy. Bro, that's crazy. All right, here we go. And once again, first stream, go ahead and bear with me. Yeah, they didn't post this year's yet. But I have it right here. So, this year, who's Bluefield going up against? This year, Bluefield is facing off against, once again, they're going to start off with Tusculum. I think that's going to be a loss. Second game of the season is Concord University. Now, they beat Concord last year. I'll have them beating them again, right? So, right out the gate there, two non-conference games, they'll be 1-1. Third game of the season, they're playing Central State out of the SEAC. Now, Central State is another school that went 1-9. last year. So their first three opponents all were pretty bad last year. So now they have Central State out of the SEAC. And as you can see, Central State didn't beat anybody except for Savannah State. Savannah State, y'all got some explaining to do. How did y'all manage to lose to Central State? But as you can see, Morehead State, Grand Valley State, Albany, Miles, Clark, Lane, Tuskegee, Allen, Kentucky State, they lost them all, right? So as we look back at Bluefield State's schedule, and you see that they start off with Tusculum. I think that's a loss. But then they have Concord, who they beat last year, their only win. I think they'll win that one again. Then they go week 3, Central State at a neutral site. Everything in me says Central State will win this game, but just for the mere fact that Bluefield is in the CIAA, I have to pick them in a neutral site game versus Central State. So that means 3 games into the season, Bluefield State is 2-1. They started the season strong, 2-1. However, right after that, it's time for CIAA play. They go September 27th to Johnson C. Smith. That's a loss. Now, this one is interesting. October 4th at Shaw. Shaw comes to Bluefield State, October 4th. Now, Shaw, I'm not sure how Shaw's going to be this year. Their coach left and is now at Elizabeth City State, and he took a lot of players with them to Elizabeth City State. This comes after Shaw had one of their best years in many years, going 6-4. So the coach is gone, a lot of the players are gone. But one thing about Shaw, for the most part, they're always pretty solid defensively for the most part. That being said, I think Shaw can go to Bluefield and get a win. So now they have October 11th, another home game versus Lincoln. We're going to get into Lincoln as we go through the conference, but I really believe Lincoln they run the risk of not winning a single game this year, but we'll get into that. So Bluefield hosts Lincoln. Mind you, Freeman is now at Hampton in the CAA Division I, FCS. I'm going to be real with you. Bluefield is going to beat Lincoln in Bluefield. So that's one conference win. So as of now, they are 2-1, 4. They're 2-4, 1-0 1-2 in the conference. Then they go to Bowie State. Come on now. Well, no, they host Bowie State. Come on. We know how that's going to go. Bowie State's going to win that one. Clearly, no debating, right? Clear win. Then they go to Virginia State. Beat down. Then they go and they host Virginia Union. Another beatdown. Then they close out the season with Elizabeth City State. Once again, I think Elizabeth City State is going to be better this year. Not saying they're going to be a contender, but I think Elizabeth City State will be better. So I'm going to take Elizabeth City State winning at home versus Bluefield, which means Bluefield State for the year is going to finish 3-7, 1-6 in the CIAA. That's my prediction. Bluefield State will be 3-7, 1-6 in the CIAA. Their only conference win being against Lincoln. What do you guys think about that? That's what I'm looking at. That's how I see it. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you follow on Instagram. Make sure you follow on Twitter. You know, if it's on you, hit the Cash App. All that stuff is right here scrolling at the bottom. Let me go ahead and play this for y'all real quick. Well, like I told you, this is the first. All right, we're back. So, once again, this is the first one, the first stream. Y'all going to bear with me, working on the technology and the sharing screens and all of that. We're going to get better and tighter with that, but just look at I got some stuff already on here. I got some banners on here. I got the background. I got some videos. I did some shares, some screen sharing. So we're getting there. But once again, Bluefield State. The prediction is they finished the year 3-7, 1-6 in the conference. The only conference win being Lincoln University. What do you guys think about that? Drop a comment. Let me know. Like the video. Share the video. Peace out. Now, obviously, we're going to alphabetical order. So the next school, them Bulldogs. That's the next one. So stay in tune for that.
No.